Canada is so lacking a moral backbone under the toxic leadership of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, despite Trudeau's government previously making the right decision in cutting off aid to the UNRWA, a supposed Palestinian relief organization run by the United Nations, which is really just in practice a Hamas front group. Justin Trudeau and the Liberals are going to cave to the radical Hamas apologist base and give money back to the UNRWA. The UNRWA, who has employees who directly participated in the attacks on Israel on October 7th, killing civilians and taking more people hostage, and also allowing Hamas leaders to dig tunnels under their infrastructure in order to hide their missiles, hostages, as well as other militants. This organization, whose most of their employees have connections to terrorist organizations in one way or another, or are direct employees of terrorist organizations, are going to start receiving Canadian money once again. In a certain sense, the money really never got cut off because they only give them installments of money every few months. So after they gave them the last installment, they said that they were going to pause funding, and now they're going to restart funding just in time for the next payment to be given. So our Minister of International Development, a role so useless it shouldn't be a ministerial job, Ahmed Hussein, is saying that we are going to not only give back money in April, 25 million, a cool 25 mil, they are going to add funding to this organization. And the CBC article really goes soft on them, and it says the Canadian government announced a pause on funding in January after Israel alleged that 12 employees of the UNRWA were involved in some capacity in October 7th attack on Israel by Hamas and the affiliate group Islamic Jihad. Yes, no, not only did 12 of the people actively participate, they're on video, they live streamed the attack, but pretty much everyone in the UNRWA has some connection to a terrorist organization. The UNRWA is responsible also for helping educate Gazan children, and their textbooks are full of anti-Semitism and also pro-terrorist propaganda. In some areas of the West Bank and Gaza, they teach children to count based on dead Israeli soldiers. These people are nutcases and should not be given any money. But because Justin Trudeau has the moral backbone of a chocolate eclair, he thinks that basically it would be a humanitarian crisis not to give the terrorists more money, because a certain portion of his base, again, Hamas apologists, think that it's somehow pro-genocide for the Liberal government not to arm terrorists. And make no mistake, the money that goes to the UNRWA is going to help Hamas commit more terrorist attacks because the money is fungible. Yes, the money goes towards aid, but not only does Hamas steal the aid, but by funding the UNRWA, Hamas doesn't have to spend as much money on the acquisition of food and clean water, and they can just put more money into AK-47s and missiles. This is just an obviously stupid thing for the Liberals to do, but because they are beholden to nutcases who vote for them, and they have lost their middle-class base, they are going to go hard in on this pro-UNRWA position and pretend that they are actually the true humanitarians for giving an organization, effectively in a lot of ways worse than ISIS, more money. Imagine if the Liberal government decided that we're going to give aid money to the IRA because there are people in Northern Ireland who are not given enough, who don't have enough food. So let's just give money to the IRA. Would be like giving money to the FLQ. You can't give money to a terrorist organization or a terrorist government and expect that the money is not going to go into sustaining their militants in the fight against a Western democracy in the Middle East, Israel. And it's absolutely insane. Would we ever continue funding to any organization that was delivering aid in Mexico if we heard that they had cartel connections and they were involved in basically slaughtering Mexican citizens? No, we would not, because that is immoral. But because Canada, under Trudeau, lacks any morality at all, we only believe in moral relativism, because enough people have chanted at Justin Trudeau's rallies and meetings that, oh, Canada is participating in a genocide in Gaza. Trudeau has lost his nerve and is going to go back to funding a terrorist organization. He is a despicable, disgusting human being, a nasty person, because he knows that this money will potentially go to killing more people, both Palestinians and Israelis, because make no mistake, the biggest threat to Palestinian life in Gaza and the West Bank is the Palestinian Authority, Islamic Jihad, Hamas, Hezbollah, and all the other terrorist groups that Israel is fighting back against. Anyways, that should be it for me today. I just quickly want to plug the fact that I, Wyatt Claypool, am running for the Calgary Signal Hill Conservative Party nomination. If you live in the side of West Calgary, please buy a membership and visit my website, wyattclaypool.com. And also, you can donate to the TNT Legal Fund, linked in the description below, or if I post this video on X, it's just posted below in replies. We are being sued by a stupid billionaire who thinks that we have defamed him, even though we have said only things that were previously reported about him by the Globe and Mail, but he didn't want to sue them because he would lose, so he tried to sue us because he didn't think a 21-year-old, that was my age at the time the lawsuit started, he didn't think that we could fight back, but we have, and it's cost us more than $26,000. So if you want to give any money to that, it really helps take the burden of cost off us. And again, I will say, if you live in Calgary, Signal Hill, or if you know people who live in the riding, get them to buy memberships yourself. We want real conservatives representing conservative ridings, people who will make sure we cut off aid to the UNRWA and do not keep funding international terrorism. Anyways, that should be it for me today, guys.